Yeah, okay.
Disrespectful and
Okay.
winner one hell of a kid. Smoking gas, drinking
Winner.
what you doing out of dick. Slick talker since a jet.
Winter time, all the time, ooh, yeah. Look at the way that I move, swag. Disrespectful and I'm rude, okay. I had cocaine in the school, winter one hell of a kid. I am smoking gas, drinking mid. I'm lit, what you doing out in dick? I swear, slick talker since a jet. Finesse, I know that this what they want, facts. Run up some money, I'm gone, I'm out.
Yo, it's your boy K Shanks What If here today, and today we'll be doing What If Luffy with Shanks still in part 1. In this version of the What If, Shanks comes to Luffy's hometown early, before Luffy was born of course, and over time him and Makino would meet, and then him and Makino would start dating eventually, and eventually that would lead up to Luffy being born, being the child of Makino and Shanks. Luffy in this canon was born with red hair and most of Shanks' features. Shanks stays with Luffy until he's 3, then leaves with his crew to go do pirate things. So the world government doesn't underestimate Shanks or thinks he's gone scoff for anything. From him being out of the pirate war for so long. I apologize. He would eventually come back, but this is when Luffy is 7 and he's gonna be there for a while. Luffy is ecstatic to see his father Shanks, and Shanks will be very happy to see Luffy as well, and Makino. Shanks is astounded on how much Luffy simply looks like him. Here, Luffy is also a year older because I always have done it in the case of my what ifs, because yeah. Anyways, you should go check out my video 4 things. You should go check out my video 4 things you need to know before watching my what ifs, and my video that just dropped yesterday, What If Luffy Had 2 Devil Fruits. Part 2 will be coming soon, don't worry. Now with that out of the way, let's continue. Shanks would train, eat, and sleep with his son. He would train Luffy in swordsmanship, and one day they're having a small spar. Luffy activates Haki on accident, armament in fact. Shanks would explain what Haki is to Luffy as Luffy understands, and Shanks trains him on it after. A year later, we see Shanks and his crew and Luffy in Makino's bar as they're eating and drinking. Luffy having a huge piece of chicken in his hand. Luffy would say, "But why can't I join your crew, Dad?" Shanks would reply, "Luffy, you may be strong, but you're too young." Luffy would then say, "But if I'm strong, it doesn't matter." Shanks would sigh and he says, "Sorry, but you just can't let him board the crew." Luffy would just sigh, and then he says he'll make his own crew soon anyways, and it'll be better than his crew. Shanks would just smile as he would then chug some booze, and at this moment a group of people would enter the bar. Higuma, was his name, if I'm not mistaken, he would walk in with his bandits and order Makino to get him some booze to drink. She would say that they just ran out, as she would apologize, and Higuma and his mountain bandits get pissed off, of course. But Shanks would then offer his cup of booze, saying he hadn't drank any and it's still fresh. Higuma would then take the cup and pour it all over Shanks, and this pisses Luffy off as Shanks just let him pour the drink all over him. Higuma is about to leave, but Luffy comes in running, then slices a chomp of Higuma's hair off. Of course, Higuma barely managed to dodge, as Higuma would gain a cut on his cheek. Shanks would then yell Luffy as Higuma would kick Luffy down, then grab him and throw a smoke bomb, capturing Luffy. Shanks and his crew would go after him as him and Higuma are on a boat, and Luffy bites his hand, making Higuma release him. And Luffy would then cover his hand and his blade in Haki, and Higuma would pull out his blade, slicing at Luffy. Luffy would dodge, then jump up and kick him in the face, then slice him across the chest. Higuma would be holding his chest in pain, then throw Luffy off the boat. Luffy hasn't eaten the devil fruit, so he could swim. Yet a sea beast spots Luffy and starts swimming quickly towards Luffy. Luffy would be scared that Shanks would come in to save him, but this time both Luffy and Shanks use conquerors and say stop. This time, Shanks doesn't lose an arm, and Shanks will notice Luffy's conquerors as well. He would be proud of his son as they would go back to Fuchsia Village, as Shanks decides to stay for a while longer to train Luffy on his conquerors for a few months. However, during that time span, Makino had caught a sickness, and it was very deadly. It happens to be no cure as Luffy and Shanks would be deeply saddened. However, Makino leaves them with these last words. She says, "Be strong," and she tells Luffy to make sure he becomes Pirate King. Luffy will promise as Makino passes away a while after Shanks decides to set sail. But before he did that, he needed to do something with Luffy, as he couldn't take him with him. He would then decide to take Luffy there. As he would then arrive at Dowdon's place, Luffy would say, "Why are we here?" Shanks wouldn't say anything, as Luffy would then say, "You're going off again, aren't you?" Shanks would say, "Yes, I'm sorry," and he would apologize to Luffy, as Luffy would say, "Don't apologize. Mom wanted us to keep being strong and keep being pirates, so we'll do that." Shanks would nod and smile as Luffy would knock on the door, and Dowdon would answer. Shanks would knock on the door, and Dowdon would answer, who was interrupted by sleep, as she would see a Shanks and say, "Oh, yo, Shanks." She would then notice Luffy in his hands, and she would then say, "Don't tell me," as Shanks would smile and say, "Would you be so kind as to take care of my kid?" Dowdon just folds eventually and says, "Fine." Shanks will leave, but before he does, he gives Luffy a hug and leaves him with a straw hat per cannon. And this time he will actually give it to Luffy instead of Luffy bringing it back whenever he becomes a great pirate. However, he would say to Luffy, "Let's meet again when you become a great pirate," as in canon. Luffy would tear up as Shanks would leave with his crew waving, as Shanks' crew would actually also miss Luffy, as he's like a little brother to them. After all, they did stay there a while. Luffy would walk up to Ace and ask his name, as Ace would try to spit on him. Luffy dodges, and he would then get pissed off, taking out his sword, saying, "How dare you try to spit on me? Fight me." Ace would then grab a steel pipe and jump down from the boulder he was sitting on and attacks Luffy, as Luffy easily dodges and uses his Conqueror's Haki just a bit to make Ace fall to his knees. Ace would eventually get back up, as he would swing his metal pipe at Luffy, as Luffy would block it just with his blade. As since Luffy's having fun, he decides to hold back on Ace, making the battle a bit more fair, even though Ace still gets mopped. He gets some hits on Luffy because Luffy was holding back, as I said. They're both laying on the ground, as they would then start laughing, as Ace will actually get respect for Luffy for beating him. It's a tie technically, but he could tell Luffy was holding back, so he calls Luffy the winner. As he would actually ask Luffy, does he want to know where his hideout is and meet his friend Sabo. Luffy would agree, and the next day they would go out and get suited up and start running to the hideout. Luffy followed Ace because, well, he knows the way. They would travel through the Great Terminal and then eventually end up at Ace and Sabo's hideout. And Sabo would then see Ace and say, "Yo," as he would then spot Luffy and climb down from the tree, and he would ask Ace, "Who is this?" Luffy would say, "My name is Monkey D. Luffy," as Ace would turn to Luffy and say, "My name is Portuguese D. Ace, so I guess we're related somehow, because we both have D in our name." Luffy will actually chuckle, and Sabo will say, "I already like him." Ace says that he just has that effect on people. Ace and Sabo will tell Luffy about the treasure they've been saving up and how they plan on becoming pirates, and Luffy would then say, "I didn't know you wanted to be pirates. I do too." Luffy did say, "I guess that means I'll help you guys so we can all set out to sea." They see Blue Jam's lackey come by, as Ace and Sabo hide, as they try to get Luffy to hide as well, but Luffy wouldn't hide. So Ace and Sabo just hides, and the man working for Blue Jam would spot Luffy and would pick him up by his collar and ask him, does he know Sabo and Ace? Luffy would then say, "And what if I do?" The man would then cock his fist back at Sabo and Ace get worried, as he would swing on Luffy, as Luffy would dodge and then slice his arm, making the man drop him and bleed. He would then cover his blade at Haki and rush at him, as the man would kick him down, but Luffy would jump off his leg, jumping up to his face and kicking him, then slashing him across his arm mid-air, as Luffy would then land on his feet. The man would then kick Luffy into a tree and then put his spiked gloves on, and then is about to hit Luffy, but Sabo and Ace come but from behind, and Ace hits him in the head with a steel pipe, and Sabo would hit him in the stomach with it, as he would cough up saliva and then fall to his knees, as Luffy would run up and finish him off with the punch to the face. They would then pick the man up and carry his body far away and come back to the hideout. After that, they would talk and chat about their ambitions in life, as Luffy says he wants to be Pirate King because he promised his mother from there, the three would go and hunt, sleep, eat, and trade together. Sabo living with them happens as in canon, and one day they go into the town of the nobles in the cloak, standing on top of each other's shoulders, going into a restaurant, eating ramen. The man would then come in and see them as they would get caught and decide to jump out the window. They land on their feet as an unknown man calls out to Sabo while they're running, as they kept running. And when they get back to their hideout, Luffy and Ace question Sabo, and Sabo would eventually fold and tell him that he's the son of a noble, and that man that was calling out to him was his father, and explain how his parents only cared about their status and not him. Luffy would actually get really angry at this and clench his fist and grit his teeth, saying, "Your father's a scumbag." Sabo would agree, however, they decide to head into the Great Terminal for parts to build on the hideout, to expand on the hideout. They then come across Blue Jam and his crew running up on Sabo, Luffy, and Ace. Ace would come through blitzing 3, cutting him down with his sword. Luffy would blitz 3 of the Blue Jam pirates, if that wasn't clear. He would cut them down with his sword. Sabo would take care of the rest. Sabo and Ace would take care of the rest, as Luffy would actually proceed to take down Blue Jam. However, the soldiers dressed in green would grab Luffy, Ace, and Sabo, as Sabo's father would come into the fray, and the same thing goes down in canon of how Sabo agrees to give away his freedom in exchange for Ace and Luffy's lives. They would tell him don't go, but he decides to do so anyways, as they would begin to walk away with Sabo, as Luffy would use Conqueror's Haki, knocking down the men who were holding him and Ace, as he would then jump up and punch Sabo's father in the face and tell Sabo, "Let's go." Sabo will actually agree, coming back with them to the hideout, as the Great Terminal fire is stopped due to Blue Jam not being able to place cargo with bombs everywhere. Over the past couple days, Sabo's father would keep attempting to get Sabo back, as Sabo would decide that he would sail out to sea and leave this island because Ace and Luffy are in danger. While Ace and Luffy are asleep, he throws a bag of his belongings on the boat, then jumps on the boat. And Luffy and Ace would wake up and notice Sabo gone and sees the letter he left behind saying that he will be setting out to sea, and he treasures their brothership, and no matter what, they'll always be brothers. Luffy and Ace will go to the shore and see Sabo already far away, and they would yell goodbye to Sabo and wave, and Ace would say good luck, A celestial dragon would actually notice Sabo's ship and shoot it, seemingly killing Sabo, and with that shot, sinking his ship. Luffy would get angry and he would then start to swim into the celestial dragon's boat. Ace would try to stop him, but he wouldn't listen, as he would be on the side of the ship of the celestial dragon, and the celestial dragon would try and shoot Luffy. This is when Luffy dodges the bullet, accidentally activated his observation, as he would then summon all the haki he could muster into his blade, slashing as a red slash would cut the celestial dragon ship in half, killing the celestial dragons and his servants that were on the boat. Ace would be shocked, as he knew Luffy was very powerful, but not this powerful. Luffy would return crying, as both him and Ace cried for a long while. Dada would eventually come looking for them, and they would have to explain what happened, as Dada would shed some tears as well. And this is where we skip 9 years and see an 18-year-old Luffy. If you think that's a lot, Luffy was actually 17 in canon pre-time skip, but he's a year older here, so yeah. Luffy would jump on the boat, as Dadan and the other bandits would see him off. He would start sailing off as he actually comes across the sea beast first, as it pops out the water. Luffy would then look up and say, "You tried to kill us a couple years ago too," as he would take out his sword and pour haki into his blade, slashing it in half as it sinks dead. Luffy will still get caught in a whirlpool and end up in a barrel, as some marines see that barrel, thinking it's booze, as they hook onto it and lift it up onto their ship. However, the Alvida pirates will begin to raid the marine ship, as Kobe is instructed to grab that barrel and put it in the storage room. As he does so, some randoms on Alvida's crew decides to drink what they think is inside of the barrel, which they think is booze. Luffy would then pop out of the barrel yawning and accidentally hitting the 2 pirates in the chin. He would then see Kobe asking him where he is, and Kobe would then say he's on the ship of the Alvida pirates. Luffy would say, "Oh, okay, I'll just rate their ship." Kobe would ask, "By yourself?" Luffy would say, "Yeah." Co- uh, Luffy would respond to would ask Kobe what is his name, as he would say, "I'm sorry." Kobe would ask Luffy for his name. And, Luffy would reply, "I'm Luffy." Kobe will shake in fear as he says, "You're the man with the 50 million berry bounty." If you're confused, you see Luffy got a bounty from destroying the Celestial Dragon ship, plus defeated Blue Jam and some of his pirates. Anyway, let's continue. Luffy would go toward where he think is food as he enters a room and actually does find food as he eats some food. Kobe and Luffy have their same convo on their ambitions as in canon, and Alvida would then fall through the first floor to the second floor where Luffy and Kobe are, because she attempted to hit one of her crew members but missed, tearing the hole in the ship which she fell into. She would then get up and ask Kobe who's the most beautiful woman on the seas, and Kobe would think back to what Luffy said about if he dies fighting for his dream, then he dies. Kobe would then say that you're the ugliest hag on the seas, and when I become a marine, I'll capture your ugly ass. Luffy would chuckle and then jump and kick Alvida, as she would then get sent through a wall, landing on her back. As Luffy slowly walks up to her, Alvida gets a better look at his face, and Alvida realizes this is red-haired Luffy, aka Straw Hat Luffy, as she would feel fear. Luffy would then take out a blade. Luffy would then grab her by her leg, swinging her around, then throwing her far out into the seas. And Kobe would be surprised as Alvida's men actually come for Luffy. Luffy would then stop them with Kakuro's haki, knocking them out. Kobe would be shocked as Luffy would grab a boat and they had that Alvida had on her ship, and then they would throw it and jump on, and Luffy would jump on the boat with Kobe. As in that instant, Nami sees him and blushes. Yes, sir, my boy Luffy out here pulling. I'm sorry. Anyways, Kobe and Zoro Luffy asked about Zoro, and Kobe would tell him his whereabouts, as Luffy would then say, "Nice to know." Kobe would question as why would Luffy want to know, and Luffy would then say, "Well, I want Zoro on my crew if he's a good person." Kobe would be astounded, and they would then get to Orange Town, I think it was, if I'm not mistaken. They walk through the town and see and go to the Navy HQ, as they would see Zoro as Luffy is about to jump over the wall, but they see this little girl walking up to Zoro, offering Zoro rice balls. Zoro tells the little girl to leave. However, Helmeppo shows up and takes the rice balls, as he would then bite into it, but then spit it out and throw the rest of the rice ball in the mud, stomping it, as he would then tell the marine soldier, "Throw her over the wall." The man will feel bad and tells her to tuck into a ball as he throws her, as Luffy catches her, and in an instant, and then he tells the little girl to go home, and she thanks Luffy and does so. Helmeppo leaves as Luffy jumps over the wall, and the same conversation with Luffy and Zoro go down as in canon. Luffy would then go into the Navy HQ to get Zoro's sword and slice down Morgan's statue, and he uses Kakuro's haki to knock out Morgan and his men. Luffy would get into Helmeppo's room, grabbing all three swords since he didn't know which one is Zoro's, and he would jump out of the window, seeing the Navy soldiers about to shoot at Zoro and Kobe, but he comes and slices the bullets in half using a combination of observation, armament, haki, and his normal speed. The Navy soldiers would just be shocked as Luffy would tell them, "You don't have to do this anymore. I defeated Morgan." The Marines are shocked, but they begin to party happily as Morgan is finally gone, and Zoro gets tied and handed his swords, as they then head to a restaurant and they eat all the food there for free for defeating Morgan and his son. The Marines would arrive and say that they are very grateful to them for defeating Morgan. However, they must leave as they are pirates. Luffy would hesitate to say okay, and Marines actually ask Kobe is he with them, and Luffy would do the same thing as in canon to make Kobe mad, so Kobe could become a Marine. As Luffy and Zoro set sail, Kobe thanks Luffy, saluting to him as the rest of the Marines. which salute to him as well. At the shore, Luffy and Zoro will laugh as they headed to the next island, and that's where I'll be ending this part off. 5 likes for part 2, and don't worry, as I said in the beginning of the video, what if Luffy had 2 devil fruits? Part 2 is on the way. It's like 75% complete done. But with that being said and done, I'm out.